Hello everybody. In today's video, I'm going to be explaining how this Air Hegemony event works. So let's get right into it. So here's the map for the Air Hegemony event. Over here in the center, you have this central airfield. Then at the sides, you have the advanced strongholds. And then in the corners, you have the primary strongholds. These are the buildings that you'll find outside of your base. And then on the left and right, you have the four teams. So there's two teams here on the right side, and then there's two teams here on the left side. Now, each team will have three buildings inside their base. There's going to be this team headquarters, which is the most important building, because if this building gets destroyed, your team will be eliminated. Then there's this basic stronghold over here, and then there's a primary airfield. Now, your first job is to build this basic stronghold. So you simply send your troops to this basic stronghold to construct it and increase its durability. Once the durability reaches 20,000, that means it's built. Now, what this does is during the last 30 minutes, whenever your team headquarters becomes vulnerable, that is when other teams will be able to attack your team headquarters, they'll first have to destroy or occupy your basic stronghold before they can attack your team headquarters, but only if your basic stronghold is built. If it's not built, then they'll be able to attack your team headquarters directly. And so that's why it's important to build your basic stronghold. You can obviously build it anytime during the first 1 hour and 30 minutes, because during the first 1 hour and 30 minutes, your team headquarters will be in protection mode. That is, nobody will be able to attack your headquarters directly. But it's better to build it earlier, because later you'll be busy trying to occupy other buildings. So that's the use of the basic stronghold. I recommend building it as quickly as possible. And then there's this primary airfield. Again, this is a building that you should occupy as quickly as you possibly can, because what this building does is it lets you go outside your base. So you can see these mountains here. If you don't occupy the primary airfield, you won't be able to travel outside of these mountains, which means you won't be able to attack these buildings that are over here. Plus, you won't be able to attack other people's bases as well. So it's important to occupy both the basic stronghold and the primary airfield. This primary airfield doesn't have to be built, it only has to be occupied. So it only takes 30 seconds to occupy this building. Once your ops enter, you stay in there for 30 seconds. Then this airfield will turn red or whatever color your team is, and that means it is occupied. But for the basic stronghold, you have to stay there for much longer till the durability reaches 20,000. So that it is completely built. Okay, so those are the buildings that are inside the base. Now let's talk about the other buildings that are outside the base. So here you have the primary strongholds, and these I think open like 15 minutes after the map opens. I'm not sure about the exact time, but it's probably around 15 minutes. And so whenever these strongholds open, you want to try to occupy them as quickly as possible. Again, it takes 30 seconds to occupy each of these strongholds. So you simply send your ops to these strongholds and keep them inside for 30 seconds. If they manage to stay inside for 30 seconds, this stronghold will become yours. Obviously, other players will be able to attack the stronghold and take it back from you. But if you stay in there for 30 seconds, you will occupy the stronghold till someone else attacks you. After another 15 minutes or so, these advanced strongholds will open, which again, you can attack the same way, and you need to occupy them for 30 seconds to get the occupation rewards. And finally, this central airfield will open, which works the same way. You have to occupy this for 30 seconds to be able to get the occupation rewards, and obviously other teams can attack you and take it back from you. And the way the battles work in this game is a bit different. So let's say if I and 5 of my teammates send an ops to a building, normally if someone else tries to attack that building in any other event, they would face all of our troops at the same time. So all 5 of our marches would fight against one march of the opponent. However, in this event, we only have 1v1 battles. So what's going to happen is the first player that sent the march to the building is going to face this other new player that's attacking the building first. If they get defeated, then the second player will face the remaining ops. Then if they get defeated, the third player will face the remaining ops, and so on till either all 5 of us are eliminated or the player attacking us gets eliminated completely. So that's how these attacks work. Also, each attack takes like 10 seconds. So it's like 30 seconds to occupy a building. But since each attack takes 10 seconds, you only need to defend like 3 attacks before you can completely occupy the building. And that's why it's important to have your stronger players enter buildings first. Because if your weaker players enter buildings first, they're gonna lose to the enemy, and that means you lose battles quicker. But if your stronger players enter first, you're more likely to win battles immediately. Now, there's also this idea of the team leader appointing an administrator for each of these buildings. And what the administrator does is exactly that. The administrator can choose the order in which your ops will battle. So the administrator can place the stronger players at the top, so those players will battle first, and the weaker players at the bottom, so that the weaker players will only fight after the stronger players are defeated, and that way your buildings will be harder to take over. So that's how the map looks like in this event. Now, each of these buildings give you points for occupation. So for example, the basic strongholds here, they give you 500,000 points whenever you first occupy them. And if you continuously occupy them, you get 60,000 points per minute. Now, keep in mind that these points that you get, these are only points for your team. These do not add to your personal point score. So if you have like 100,000 points, personal points, occupying this basic stronghold will not make it 600,000. You'll still have 100,000 even if you're the only one who occupies this basic stronghold. So keep that in mind. Then the primary airfield is also the same. You get 500,000 points for first occupation plus 60,000 points per minute. Then the primary stronghold gives you 1 million first occupation points and 180,000 points per minute. The advanced stronghold gives you the same 1 million and 180,000 points per minute. And finally, the central airfield gives you 3 million points and 600,000 points per minute. Now, keep in mind that the first occupation points can only be obtained by one team. So if my team occupies a central airfield first, we'll get the first occupation points. But then if some other team takes it away from us, they're not going to get the first occupation points because we were the first ones to occupy the airfield. Now, there's one more thing about this map that I wanted to talk about. So earlier I said that the primary airfield is required for you to travel outside of this line. And while that is true, if you manage to occupy this central airfield here in the center, then even if you lose the primary airfield, you'll still be able to travel around the map because you still have access to one airfield, which is the central airfield right here. So that's a small detail that you should keep in mind just in case you lose your primary airfield. Now, there are 2 different ways of getting personal points in this event. The first one is by gathering from tiles. And now there are 2 different types of tiles. You have these fuel depots, which are level 1. These can give you 100,000 points if you fully gather these tiles. And there's the machinery plants, which are level 2. And these give you 400,000 points if you fully gather them. Now, one thing that you need to keep in mind in this event is that your tiles are not safe anywhere on the map. So even if you're inside of your base, even if you're gathering inside of your base, other players will still be able to attack your tiles. Even if your tiles are literally inside this red area right here, they'll still be able to attack your tiles. So your tiles are literally not safe anywhere. So if you're not very strong, what I recommend doing is that you only send one troop to a tile to fully gather it, because even if someone attacks one troop, you're not really going to lose a lot. And that way you won't give them a lot of kills and they'll just waste a bunch of speed ups trying to attack you. If you're really strong, however, then you can send a full march so that no one can steal your tiles. So that is one way of getting points, personal points in this event. The other way of getting personal points is by killing troops. So if you simply attack other players and kill their troops, you get points based on their tier. So tier 10s will give you 10 points, tier 11s will give you 13, tier 12 will give you 16, and so on. So the more troops you kill, the more points you get. Now, there are also milestone rewards in this event for scoring up to 5 million points. And this is extremely easy to do just by gathering from tiles. Also, reaching this 5 million point milestone will give you this 30-day island decoration, but you also get some advanced teleports and speed ups from all of these other milestone rewards. So even if you can't fight in this event, I still think you should gather, because even if you only gather, you can easily get 5 million points in this event. Also, in case you do fight, keep in mind that there are no real losses in this event. So all the troops that you lose in this event will go to a hospital. You can heal them during the event using speed ups. You don't need to use any resources. However, if you don't heal them till the end of the event, they'll be automatically healed once the map closes. Also, there are rewards for personal and team rankings. So I think the top 5 get some personal ranking rewards, and there are team ranking rewards as well. There are 2 winners and 2 losers in this event, and the winners obviously get a slightly better reward. So I think that covers everything about this event. If you still have questions about the event, then let me know in the comments down below. Before I end this video, I'd like to thank all of my patrons for the support. To support me, you can find my Patreon link in the description below. Thanks for watching the video, guys, and I will see y'all in the next one.